I am Estelle Brink with Jericho Walls International Prayer Network. We are busy with the series Watchmen on the Wall, and we're looking at the lifestyle of a night watchman and what to expect when you pray at night. So last time we started to say, how can I recognize a visitation of the night or the Holy Spirit prompting me to pray at night? And we said that as in the daytime, you must learn to sense His presence and then respond to that. Secondly, you may have a vivid dream. You may perhaps wake up from a dream and sense His presence. Then also get up, write down the dream, ask Him to speak to you more and more about the dream. Thirdly, you may hear a specific sound that is extraordinary for that time of night. Like I've mentioned before, you may wake up hearing a sound like a knocking on a door or an unfamiliar sound for that specific time of night that tries to get your attention. When this happens, ask the Holy Spirit to speak to you about what you have heard. The fourth way in which you can recognize a visitation of the night is a thought. Sometimes you wake up and a whole sentence is just there in your mind. Therefore, I always keep a notebook at my bedside. I've learned through trial and error, however clear a message may seem in the moment you wake up, if you neglect to write it down, you will most certainly not remember it later, even a few minutes later. There are those few seconds between waking up to being awake that God drops amazing revelation in our hearts. That is a visitation. Quickly sit up, write down the thoughts. Also give some time extra by just waiting to hear if there are some other thoughts that come to mind. Whole sermons can come to you like this in the middle of the night. And they will be the best ones you will ever preach. The more you practice listening and faithfully writing down whenever you are prompted like this, the more the Lord will begin to speak to you like this. Number 5 is struggling to sleep. Now, instead of wasting time thinking of everything that worries you, you can intentionally set your heart and your mind on reflecting on the Lord and the things of His kingdom. Look up a Bible verse and then repeat and pray that verse to the Lord in the middle of the night. You can also pray the names of the Lord, mentioning His faithfulness, His goodness, His mercies, like that. As we keep our minds set on the Lord, the Holy Spirit will begin to speak back to us. Remember to keep your notebook by your bedside. This one I will mention now is very dear to my heart. Number 6, a song in the night. Another way we can recognize the Lord visiting us in the night is what I call songs of the night. And we read of this in Psalm 42 verse 8. The Lord will command His loving kindness in the daytime, and in the night His song shall be with me, a prayer to the God of my life. And then also in Job 35 verse 10, but no one says, where is God my Maker, who gives songs of rejoicing in the night? This is when you wake up with a song in your mind. This is what that verse means. The Lord is now singing over you. He stands by your side while you are asleep, but your spirit and your soul are awake, and He sings to you, and they hear the song. One of the ways God speaks to us is through song. Oftentimes, a song is preparing us for something that's going to happen in the daytime. The Lord is covering you and me in preparation for what is ahead in the day. And once we've become attentive to these things, we will realize how often the Lord really visits us. Do you believe it? It's in the Word. Let's read Psalm 32, verse 7. It says, you are my hiding place. You shall preserve me from trouble. You shall surround me with songs of deliverance. There you have it. The Lord surrounds us with songs of deliverance, which He sings over us. It is so wonderful. Because we are not taught these secrets of His kingdom, we miss out on a lot of treasure and our fellowship with the Lord. Other times, a song may come to mind that comforts our soul. I invite you to become attentive this week when you wake up at night. What is in your mind? Is there a thought? Is there a prayer, a concern, a song? Then, do not just go back to sleep. Start a conversation with the Lord, and you will be so very surprised at how often He visits you in the night when you respond. Next week, I will spend more time explaining what exactly you must do when you begin to recognize these promptings of the Holy Spirit.